Ashton, are you there? Please answer me. I need to know where you are right now. You just said that you were going to the restroom, but it's been way too long for that now. People are going to start showing up soon. You have to get back here right away.
Hey, Ginny, I'm really sorry to have to do this to you, but I just don't think I can get married to you today.
Excuse me? What is that supposed to mean?
I just mean that I'm not really feeling it in my heart. Something is holding back, and if I'm not 100% dedicated, then I don't think we should be getting married. So, I know we were supposed to be getting married, but I just can't. I'm sorry. The truth is that I just can't get Chelsea out of my head.
Chelsea? Wait a minute, do you mean Chelsea is in your ex-girlfriend, Chelsea?
That's right. Every time I think about getting married, she pops into my head. And I just keep thinking that Chelsea is going to be waiting for me if I go to our wedding, and I keep picturing her in a wedding dress and not you. No matter what I try, I just can't get my mind off her at all.
I really just don't even know what to say to that right now.
Well, I'm sorry, but this is why I can't go through with our wedding. I'm still in love with Chelsea.
Ashton, I can't believe you right now. I mean, we are literally supposed to be getting married today. Our friends and family are all here right now to watch that happen. And you're telling me that you're going to break up with me because you haven't gotten over your ex? But I remember you told me about how awful she was. You said that you didn't have any feelings at all left for her.
I know I said that, but it's not quite that simple.
Didn't you tell me that Chelsea repeatedly cheated on you too? Didn't you say that you couldn't stand her doing that over and over again, and that's why you finally broke up with her?
I did say that, but I just don't care about any of that anymore.
I don't get it. What could have changed to make you feel this way?
Look, Chelsea cheated on me 30 times in the last year that we were together. But she's just so cute that I've forgiven her for everything. And I just know no matter what our past is, no matter what we may do together in the future, she's the woman I want to marry.
I don't even know what to say to you right now. I mean, do you really still care for Chelsea all that much? Why did you even agree to marry me if you still had all these feelings for her?
Well, it's not like I don't like you either, you know? And I really appreciate that you were serious about this and never once cheated on me. But the fact of the matter is, I think most of that had to do with the fact that you're not all that pretty, so you just didn't have the chance to cheat on me.
Excuse me? And just what is that supposed to mean?
I mean that I just want to be with Chelsea. She's the only one who really gets my heart burning. In fact, I've even come around to how selfish she can be. And I think it's all part of her charm.
Are you kidding me right now? You told me that you loved me, Ashton.
I know, but it's just that... Well, I know if I married you, my life would just be so boring. I want more out of my life than just a normal marriage. That's why I have to get back together with and marry Chelsea. I don't care how many times she cheated on me. I'll always forgive her.
You really are just pathetic. Do you know that? I mean, how could you do this to me on the day we're supposed to be getting married? I was ready to dedicate my life to being with you. I thought we made each other happy.
I know, and I really am sorry for all this. I swear to pay for the wedding plans and everything. But can you please just tell everyone there that the wedding is off? Just tell everyone there that I can't do this because I still love Chelsea too much.
So sorry about what happened yesterday. To think that you and Ashton were so close to getting married. If only he still wasn't head over heels in love with me. Excuse me? Just who do you think you are talking to me about this? Oops, I guess I'll have to introduce myself first. I'm Chelsea, as in Ashton's Chelsea. I suppose you must have heard a little about me from your ex-fiancé, right? Oh, yes, I've heard lots of things about the beautiful ex-girlfriend. And about how you're a serial cheater who seems not to care who she hurts in the process. It's not my fault if so many men want to approach me and have a little chat. In fact, I love it so much, I almost never turn any of them down. But I suppose you really wouldn't know much about that, given how plain you are. Oh, you're right about that. An ugly girl like me would just have no idea what it's like to be as beautiful as you. I just couldn't even imagine hurting the ones that I love in the pursuit of selfish pleasures. And just what is that supposed to mean? You know what it means. But anyways, I'm glad that you reached out. At least now I have a way to contact you. I suppose that Ashton has already reached out to you to ask about getting back together, yes? Or were you the one that reached out to him to convince him to get back together with you? Because I know that Ashton was starting to get a little bit of cold feet before our wedding. But I'm sure that once he has some time to think about what he's done, that he'll realize he's better off with me. You really think he's going to get back together with you? No. Ashton is all mine, and there is nothing you can do about it. Wait, what? You can't be serious about that. Of course I am, and isn't it so funny? I mean, he abandoned the woman he was engaged to marry for me, his cheating ex. I think that's hilarious. But it does also prove that Ashton really is a passionate man, so you should know that I didn't have to do any talking to him at all. You mean that he came to you to ask to get back together with him? That's right. He even told me about how he wanted us to get married. And the thing is that I have a lot of men who say that they love me, but Ashton has been the only one to leave his fiancé at the altar for me. So, needless to say, I was quite taken up with his confession. I don't even know what to say to that. How could he betray me like that? Well, it worked out great for me. I get a husband who makes a fine living and says that he doesn't care if I run around cheating on him. It's the perfect match for me, so you may as well give up any idea of getting Ashton back now. Well, fine then. If that's really how it is, then you can have him. I wouldn't want to get back with someone who's left me on the day we were supposed to get married anyways. I hope you two make each other happy.
Hey, Jenny, are you there? Can you please let me in the house? I heard from some friends that you are living here these days.
Wait, is that you at my front door, Ashton? And here I was wondering why my doorbell wouldn't stop ringing.
That's right, it's me, and I've come here to ask for your hand in marriage. So please, let me inside so I can start making up the past you to you.
What in the world are you talking about, Ashton? I thought you left me to be with Chelsea, remember? You literally broke up with me on the day you and I were supposed to be getting married, remember?
Oh, I know that, but Chelsea and I didn't actually end up getting married. I mean, did you really think I was going to marry a girl like that in the first place? I want you to know that it took me a while, but I finally realized the mistake I made leaving you behind.
And just what do you mean by that?
I mean, I realized that Chelsea wasn't planning on stopping her affairs behind my back. I told her I wanted to get married to her because I thought that would stop her from cheating on me. But then, a while after you and I broke up, Chelsea and I were going to get legally married at the courthouse, but then I saw her with another guy.
I see. So you got back together with a cheater, and she cheated on you, is what you're telling me?
Well, you just have no idea how upset that got me seeing her like that. I told her that I had enough of her behavior and that we were through. And then she just left towards the courthouse with the other man of hers. Not only that, but she also emptied out our shared bank account that we had before she ran away.
You mean she even stole all of your money before she left you?
That's right. We had been saving up money in the account to pay for our wedding, and then she ended up taking it all to run off with another guy. I was so depressed after that. Things got pretty dark for me, to be honest. But then I remembered you.
And just what did you remember about me?
Well, I remembered how kind and lovely you were, and I finally realized that you really were the woman for me. I know that you would never cheat on me. You never betrayed me while we were together, and you even loved me enough to want to get married. So that's why I think we should get back together and get married.
No, no, no. That is just not going to happen, Ashton. Why are you even coming to me about this?
What's wrong with getting back together? I mean, we loved each other once. We can do it again.
And do you really think that after all this time that I would still want to marry you?
What do you mean all this time? It's only been a year since we broke up. It isn't all that long when you consider being married.
You did not actually just send that message to me, did you?
Oh, come on. Once we're married, we're going to have plenty of fights and challenges that we'll have to overcome. Just think of this as another one of those challenges. And think about how good it's going to feel to put all this behind and get on with our relationship.
You really are an idiot if you think I'm going to buy any of what you're saying to me right now. I don't love you, and I haven't in a long, long time, Ashton.
Oh, come on, don't be like that. You know that you don't really mean that. I know you've been waiting for me to come back to you this whole time. I mean, that's why you moved into this huge condo by yourself, right? So we could share it eventually?
Are you kidding me right now? Is that really what you think?
In fact, I bet that you afforded this place with all the money that I had to pay you to handle all the cancellations for our wedding, huh?
If you must know, I did use some of that money for the down payment on this lease, yes.
Well, there you go. You got into this place using my money, so I have a right to live with you. This is perfect. You've already got a house ready for us to live in. I knew you were waiting for me to come back to you. After all, it looks like you could fit a whole family into a unit of that size. So I guess this means you must want kids with me too. But I'm fine with that if that's what you want. So what do you say? Shall we get married? I can start calling places to reserve some space. And I suppose we can just reuse the same invitations as last time. We'll just have to change the date is all.
Ashton, you can't actually be serious about all of this, right?
Of course! I know it's taking us a while to come back together, but we can finally be married. In fact, I should tell you that I've actually already booked a venue and everything. So what do you say? Will you make me the happiest man alive?
Excuse me, but what do you think you're doing talking to my wife like this?
Sorry, what? I don't understand what you mean by that.
No, I don't understand why you won't stop ringing the doorbell to my house. Or why you won't stop texting my wife. Just who do you think you are, huh? Now you're trying to ask her to marry you? What are you trying to play here, huh?
What is this? I don't get it. Is this some kind of joke or something like that? Who even are you? And why do you keep talking about your wife? Are you talking about Jenny? Because she's been my woman longer than she's been yours.
And yet her and I are the married couple. Funny how that works. Honestly, did you really think you could just show up a year later and try to get my wife to marry you? Well, you're too late.
Wait a second. Does that mean Ginny is already married to someone else? She cheated on me with another man?
Cheated? You wish. She got married to me after you left her at the altar.
But, I mean, I thought that she would have waited for me. I just wasn't ready for the real thing back then. I was just getting cold feet, but I always thought that Ginny would have understood that. I thought she had to know that I didn't really love my ex.
I don't care what excuse you told yourself over this past year, it doesn't change the facts. You cast Ginny aside, and you have no right to speak to her as if you're still together.
No, there has to be some kind of mistake. Ginny is my girl. She has to be. I know I chose wrong in the past, but I'm here to make up for my mistakes. That's why she has to get back together with me.
Give her back to me right now. You really just don't know how to read well, do you? You didn't just ask Ginny to go on a break or postpone the wedding. You left her to go and be with your ex. You asked her to cancel all the wedding plans. She doesn't want to be with you anymore. Ginny and I are happily married now, and we don't need you coming in and trying to interfere with our lives. I don't care that your plan to get back with your ex didn't work out. You don't get to use Ginny as some kind of backup plan. Now, I want you to get lost and never come back. If I see you around here again, I will call the cops on you. Do you understand? Two can play that game. Don't you know that I gave your wife the money to pay the down payment on your lease here? That means that your apartment is basically mine. If you won't give me my future wife back, then I want you out of here now. I'll call the cops on you instead. You really think you paid for this? Ginny barely had any money left after she had to pay all the cancellation fees for your wedding. When we got together, she insisted on getting rid of the rest of the money you had given her, and so she contributed to a down payment. But it was only enough to cover maybe a third of the down payment cost on this place. The rest all came from my savings and the money that she had been putting away from her job. So call the police if you want, but you'll only be saving me the trouble of dealing with you.
But that can't be right. You're telling me that this place where you live really costs that much? You won't get away with this. I won't let you get away with this.
So I heard you got married. Not only that, but I hear that you're with some rich guy who's paying for you both to live at some amazing condo. Well, if it isn't Chelsea, I heard that you left Ashton to go be with some other guy. Well, he was fired from his job not long after we got back together, so I realized there wasn't any point in staying with a man who didn't have any money. I don't care why you and him broke up, so just save it. Well, that's fine, because I'm not here to talk about Ashton, but I want you to hand over your husband to me now. I need a rich man to take care of me, and you seem to have good taste when it comes to picking them. You really are crazy, do you know that? You really think that I'm going to let you get near my man? Please, you have to help me. I'm in serious debt, and I really need help. I'm desperate. Just let me have your man, and you can go and find another one. You're good at getting rich guys to fall in love with you. Please, you have to help me. I'm begging you here. You don't know how hard my life has been. It's really hard to find a man who is really okay with me cheating on them. Maybe that's because I fall in love with the people and not their wallets. I'm not even going to touch the rest of that message. But you know what? If you want to meet in person to talk about this, why don't you go to the cafe by the mall? I'll be there in 30 minutes. I actually hid across the street from the cafe where I ended up sending Ashton to meet Chelsea. When he saw her, he flew into a rage over the money that she had apparently stolen from him. In the end, the cops were called by the cafe staff on both of them because they began to brawl inside the store. I watched the whole thing as the cops showed up and took them both away. Afterwards, I called the police with information on what had happened inside the cafe, and through that process managed to get restraining orders placed on both of them against my husband and I. Since then, we've been lucky enough to not have to deal with either of them ever again. Of course, I apologized to my husband about my past catching up with me in such an obnoxious way. But he was just glad that no one was hurt in the process. As for me, I'm just glad to finally be able to put that part of my life behind me and focus on my new life with my lovely husband.